Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to do this once again. And truly, in the back of my mind, I'm probably joining many of my critics, many of the haters, and I'm wondering to myself, Jack, what are you doing? Why are you doing this again? See, my time online, while my intentions have been honest and clear, my hope is to make a difference, to bring a little joy, a little cheer, a little encouragement and positivity to any who may find their way. The cost I've faced has been pretty frustrating. Some of the insane characters that have found themselves so comfortable in my life, Snafu, Paul Enslaved, Tommy, all these other characters, it's been bizarre to me. And so while I'm not online, especially as of the last few days, I'm constantly being harassed. And I know the advice is, well, just block these people, just push them away. That's an option. Today's topic, patience for clarity. It's something I've learned. I know there's a lot of value behind my words. We'll see where today goes. This may be a short stream. We'll open it up. We'll see what happens today. But peace is available. Peace is always available. And with me, love is with me. Love is moving me forward through what I choose to do. Today, Blessed Thursday, the most powerful thing you can do right now is to be patient while things are unfolding for you. Now, I know there's wisdom in that. I know that truth, and you can explain it logically so that it makes sense. It's true. I mean, think about it. When we have a lack of patience, then we use that as an excuse for self-sabotage, unease. When we feel a lack of patience, we feel unease. Now, conversely, when you focus with intention and you choose a practice of patience, a focus of intention, keeping sure that your intentions are clear so that you're not of clouded mind, filled with worry and anxiousness, but with the patience and an open mind, clarity can be found. And with a focus of intention, the rewards of wisdom, the rewards of strength, they rise from within the peace. Surrender to the life you are living and truly embrace from within you the strength of the Holy Spirit. That is true. There is a Holy Spirit to all of us. It comes from the Spirit of truth, which is God. It comes from God. We are spiritual beings here having a temporary human experience. And that's actually good advice. Enjoy the present, unless it's miserable. Then think of the future until the present moment improves. Think of pleasantness, right? When things get unpleasant, use the power of your mind to redirect, to refocus, not allowing ourselves, well, the simple reminder. This simple reminder helped me get through a lot of crap in my past. Simple and obvious. It'll pass. The good, the bad, the pain, the joy, it passes. It comes and goes. So just be tough. Be strong in these times where it's not pleasant, and be patient. That's what I've been trying to do for myself. But see, in this world of egoic turmoil, right? All the emotional fools want to battle each other and prove how worthless each other are. Um, Patience and kindness, they're often viewed as weakness, but don't let that fool you. There's nothing more strong, nothing more powerful than kindness in the face of darkness. There's nothing more powerful than patience, you know, knowing that the right time is happening. There's a time and a place for all things, there's a season for all things. And I have a feeling, I've had this feeling for a long time. And through my practice, I'm doing everything I can to maintain my positive outlook on the future, to believe that all this stuff that I've been through is somehow going to be worthy. And, you know, I wonder how insecure some must be to manipulate kindness as a display of weakness. That's exactly what it is, though. It's people are insecure in their own nature of being, so they find a joy out of diminishing others. If you've been a part of this Talcott adventure for a while and you've seen some of the interactions here, you've seen it. There's many boastful manipulators that have somehow dragged themselves fighting to be into my life. And, well, to be honest, I'm pretty fed up with them, pretty sick of them today. So, with that, I'm prayerful that things will change, but I know it's all in God's hands. So, today it may be a very short stream. The idea is it's pretty simple and it's pretty obvious, but sometimes we just need reminders. But if you stop and you think about it, the state of your mind, the state of your mind creates your experience. If you've got anxiousness and battles in your head, well, that's what you're going to experience. Even if you're sitting by a beautiful stream, right? You've got beauty and nature all around you. If you're dealing with selfish battles in your head, well, that's the life you're going to live. That's a good question, Jeeps. I'm trying not to lose steam. I'm yeah, I'm curious what the future's going to bring. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with me. I know that internally, chemically, right? I'm weaning myself off of different substances. The nicotine, it still bothered me. Like, shit, that's been a lifelong friend for me since I was 15 years old. I've been chewing. But I figure, there's something I'm doing that's holding me back from reuniting with friends, from finding friends, from finding family, reuniting with people. There's something that's preventing me. Logically, I focused primarily on my mind and my heart, right? To overcome my patterns of anger or my patterns of fear. But apparently that's not been good enough. So, whatever God wants is what matters. And so I'm just like everyone else. I'm trying to figure out, what does God want me to do? Do I need to do in order to succeed and move forward? I'm going to take a chance. We got a guest here. Welcome, Yogi Guru Kundalingus Nobody.
Hello, Mr. Talcott.
Blessings to you.
Blessings. How are you doing today, sir?
I am. How are you?
Very good, very good. I am as well.
You have thoughts on patience and clarity, how those two help, how they work together?
One must clearly see themselves to have patience with themselves.
That is true. I actually, this was a thought I was considering earlier. I know that in this realm, this experience we share, there is everything is cause and effect, and the two will be intertwined. There's no separating the cause from effect. And if you look at, well, it's just another example of how everything is connected, but problems and solutions, they go together. Um, Such as patience and clarity. What you said, when we have clarity, when we have a clear picture of what we are experiencing, what is true, it does allow us to be more patient, because when we're honest and clear, then we can recognize, okay, the impatience is just a thought. It's just it's a fleeting fancy, right?
Very good, very good. See, to see clearly, uh, you must know what it is that you want. And when you know what it is that you want and what you want to be, then you may be patient to become that. If you have clarity of purpose, you can be patient.
That's the
If you
key.
do not have clarity, you cannot be patient.
That I agree with that. Now I'm trying to, as you're saying this, I'm looking at me. Am I applying those things? And I think it's true. With clarity of purpose, you do have more confidence in patience, in waiting. But the downside, or the thought that came up, the enemy to clarity could be doubt. And so, because of the lack of success, right, the lack of change, the lack of forward progress that I've been hoping to achieve, the doubts start creeping into my mind.
But your progress is inside, Jack. Don't forget the progress you are making inside. The progress you are not seeing on the outside, it will come. Be patient, Jack. Don't let these demons continue to bring you down into the mud, into the dirt. You must rise, Jack. You are rising. Don't do this to yourself.
Sincerely, thank you.
Namaste, brother.
Those are the reminders I needed. Thank you.
No, thank you, brother Jack. I have watched you for over a year. And this is the first time I join with you, I speak with you. I want to tell you, Jack, you are a very good man. And you have a very beautiful purpose. Do not doubt yourself, Jack. You are doing very good. I have seen you grow.
Thank you. You know,
Namaste.
brother, namaste. Is it namaskar? Is that the other way of saying it? Regardless, brother, thank you. You see me and I feel that. And for those tuning in, please, what I just saw is humanity. You know, I thank you. I have been working on me and the growth inside. Thank you for recognizing that and reminding me of that, because that has been my focus. And what was offered here, just a from a stranger, somewhat. Well, there's some familiarity, but
There is, but yes, stranger indeed. But there is no stranger, Jack. You know this.
I
There
know.
is no such thing as stranger. We are all one, brother. Even with the demons. We have no choice, my friend. What else can there be?
Thank you. Yes. Oh,
So God bless them. What else can we say?
that's, I have been praying for them. I've been praying for many,
They are
including,
growing much slower, but they also are growing. We see it. Don't say you don't see it.
you're right. They are. And perhaps some of the more recent the more recent attacks I've been receiving, maybe it's because they're at that last ditch. They're still fighting
They're
for their,
still fighting against the change, Jack. But it's okay.
yeah. Hey, brother, this has been refreshing. But as an example, right? Encouraging words from one human being to another, sincerely, that is why we're here. We have so much.
It is cliche, but I have heard somebody say before, we are here to walk each other home.
It is true.
We all come from the same place, yet we sit here, we fight over petty nonsense, over nothing. Silly, 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 silly.
It is silly, but it's frustrating too.
It's beautiful as well, though.
Yes, it is all things.
All things, yes, Jack. You're getting it. You are there, Jack. You know it.
I do. Thank you. So, okay, so what do we do from here? I mean,
I
the
know
world,
you want to see it big change, Jack. I know. I know. I do too. Wahoo! Of course. But we must be patient. We must continue to grow inside and outside. We will do what we can when we can, as it come to us.
with patience and with the clarity of purpose, I found my clarity of purpose. I believe because what I found my purpose, it's love. Love is for me. It's the reason I am. And I'm pretty sure we share that purpose, but how I came to this conclusion, dude, it's a crazy story. But it's the same wisdom that has been known for eternity. The wise of the past, they have known patience, clarity, love for one another, love for self, love of being. And I think that's what's happening with me. I know I'm clumsy. I know I say the wrong things. I get emotional and sometimes I'm even still fragile, right? Where my wounds, so to say, on my sleeves.
Jack,
But
this is just because you have a big heart and you care deeply, my friend.
I do.
You love deeply, you care deeply for everyone. I know, I do as well. It
How
is
do
the way, love. Love is the way. And people want to argue about what mean love. They have no idea, really. They cannot do it. They have not felt it. I don't know. How do we help them, Jack? I also ask this question.
thank you. I was just going to ask, how do you? But we are.
Just loving them, I think this is it, right?
I think you're right. May I know more about you? How long have you been on this path of seeking or knowing,
Oh, my,
growing?
my friend, many lifetimes.
Many
Countless,
lifetimes.
endless, infinite lifetimes, my friend. I'm hoping this is the last time. But, whatever will be. But
I
unfortunately, Jack, I do have to step away, even though I will still be here because there is nowhere else to be. But I must step away momentarily. And I will talk to you again, Jack. And I hope you stay strong in your love.
I feel recharged. Thank you for
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you for sharing, you, and you are welcome to return.
Thank you,
Please.
Brother Jack. Blessings to you. Enjoy
Thank you.
the rest of your day.
I will. I will. And you as well. I'm
Thank
gonna
you. Thank you.
I'll drop you. That was brothers and sisters, that was a refreshing gift for me. I hope you received some of that too. The reminders. We are all in this together. And what he said, I'd be very curious to speaking with our yogi friend more, because he knows many lifetimes he's been on this path. I've never recalled clearly memories from before this lifetime. I mean, hell, I have tough enough time keeping track of the memories in this lifetime, to be honest. It's been a crazy, wild adventure. But I spent much of this life here on earth in this body not understanding love, not understanding who I was in relation to love, not understanding who I was in relation to the world. Somehow, some way, my path allowed me, by the grace of God, as it's said, by the grace of God, God allowed me to awaken my mind, to expand my heart, to grow into a greater and a different version of me. Now, this different version of me, yes, I consider it much greater than the man who I used to be in the past. You know, the one who hid behind booze and, insecurities and labels and all sorts of misery in my judgment. I lived that life and I feel blessed. I feel so blessed in my life to have been able to have learned what I've learned, to be able to change what I've changed within me. And this gift of a guest who showed up today, sincerely, after what I've been dealing with that clown snafu and some of the others. Snafu, if you're listening, brother, you're dead wrong. My son is going to be so excited to speak with me again. I know there will be many people dancing and celebrating victory for Jack when Jack and his family reunite. And I know it will happen as long as I maintain patience, when I maintain clarity in my heart, meaning I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to receive what life brings. I'm willing to receive what I discover in life. You can too. By opening ourselves up, opening our mind, opening our heart, we become greater in this world than we ever were. And the best way to open your mind and your heart is, number one, be honest. Don't lie. Do not lie. Do not lie to yourself. Do not lie to your others. The the power of truth is so important, so unrecognized by the masses in this society, and there's plenty of evidence that supports my words. People don't understand the importance of truth. That's why we've got the political, economic nonsense we do throughout this old world. Because if people understood the truth, the banking industry would be shut down by tomorrow. That would be all over. We would be transforming things immediately and very quickly. And here's where I am. I've mentioned that I've been awakening with these ideas, reminding me each day, Jack, don't point to the world, point to the future. Go to the future. Go to the unity. Go to the wholeness. Go to the goodness. Last night, I didn't write it down, but I awoke from celebration. And the message that awoke me from celebration was the simplicity of life that brings forth. It is time, I believe, If it's not time today for us all, the time is coming where we will all be uniting together in celebration. Celebration and love and joy over the Jubilee.
I know. I was typing in my name and you said celebration. I was like, yep, that's me. He's calling me.
That's the cue. Welcome, Jubilee. How are you today, my
Thank
friend?
you. I'm doing good in this moment. Amazing in this moment.
That's half the battle.
Absolutely.
Because when it can be achieved in this moment, then that means it can be achieved again and carried over.
Absolutely. I had what I shared on my stream in the last few days, a vision for you and your son, which was, what does your life look like that is so amazing and so beautiful that exactly what you say happens and he is attracted back into your life, so excited to talk to you and so excited to be reunited? What does your life day in and day out look like that you're the person who naturally brings him back in?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I know how I'm living, what I would be offering. See, the first 15 years when he was with me part of the time, I was obsessed with work, my union obligations. I had so many priorities outside of the house, but I felt that was normal because that's a man's job. You know, the man's got to do the job, and to do the job, it requires sacrifices. So I didn't feel guilty at the time, and I should have. But that's one of my regrets. When my son was with me, we didn't have the time. And when we did have the time, I was still consumed with my unworthiness and my habits of drinking. For 7 years now, I've been healthy. I haven't had a job. I mean, I haven't had commitments for my time. I've had nothing but time and wisdom. And growing up, another regret I have. I mean, I judged my mom and my stepdad for the way they raised me, but I tell you what, I know how to survive. I know how to go out in the woods and take care of myself, foraging, hunting, trapping, whatever I need to do. I can survive wherever I go. I didn't instill that in my boy. I'm sure he's picked up his stuff and he knows how to survive, but the thing is I've learned so much. I can repair the damages, and that's every one of us goes through childhood and we pick up little things and pieces, damages in our lives. Well, after my son and I parted, I've been studying these things. I know the damage I caused, but I've got idiots like Snafu and others encouraging him to stay away from me. That's insane. And Snafu, if you're listening, that's evil. Absolutely evil. So another part of this is while I still have, I mean, I've made financial investments, investments in my education and such. I have I have things that can prove to be rewarding um, as far as finances and stuff. I don't know how it's going to happen.
No, I
When
think
it's gonna
having
happen.
you in his life is reason enough to have you in his life. Having it's, what does that life look like that he's naturally attracted to, where he doesn't fall for the smear campaign that has been launched against you. And what he sees from his side, which is people constantly randomly reaching out to him when he is asked for no contact. And then someone like Snafu, if he's actually talked to him, who is going to have more of a dangerous impact. You are a grandpa now. He's a dad.
It appears that way.
What does a life look like that is the grandpa he wants, right? That he wants for his child, that is maybe that trapping, teaching to hunt, teaching that piece of it, right? Maybe that's what attracts him. Maybe, but sorry, I'm just going to turn off my camera.
Yeah, no worries. Part of my reality, though, is I face things that other divorcees face. I know that my ex-wife, his mother, she's encouraged our son to stay away from me, to recognize her husband as our son's father, to replace me and get me out of the life. She was trying to do that actively when we had shared custody. She was constantly trying to. The appearance from my experience was that she was constantly trying to separate me and our son. Well, it turned out that after I got sober and I found myself on a path devoted to God, I guess that was the time for them to take him away. I disagree, but Jubilee, my faith is in God.
Mm-hmm.
I know God's love is true, and
I see reunification in your future. I think it's on the path, and the less you necessarily strive for it and you strive internally for what you've been, like just being grateful for him, for that relationship, for his existence, for your grandbaby, whoever they are, and just sending out the best love and thoughts of him. I've never heard you say a negative thing about him. You clearly love him deeply. I think he would benefit from having you in his life and at least giving you an opportunity to talk and have a relationship with your grandchild. I think you would make an excellent grandfather, but I don't have the relationship you've had with him. And having people, having friends, having a community of support and a village of people around you, other people's children, other people's of all varying ages, right? Whether that's in a church, whether that's in an intentional community, wherever that is, having that be like, what life do you want to be living day in and day out? What does your ideal life look like? Before your son's attracted, because the idea is this attracts your son. So I know your ideal life is clearly with him in it.
My ideal life would be the other things I've been working for, trying to find a team, building this Live Without Fear brand, starting to do more online, starting to do more in the world. I am at a place, sincerely, it's for the most part my story of similar to the Job story, the book of Job. For the most part, my pains were painless. I didn't go through the disease and actual deaths that were described in that extreme version, but I tell you what, I've been tested and my faith has grown. And I trust, Jubilee, I trust. I don't know what the words are supposed to mean by rewards or blessings or promises. All I know is that truly I have sought to know and to seek the kingdom of heaven. I sought to know God's presence in my life. I found that. And I found peace inside of myself. It's not always easy, right? It's not always easy to remember the peace inside, but I've had a lot of practice and I'm getting better at it. And I do believe that even so far, my life is as evidence, it's testimony for many of the things from the Bible. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else shall be provided for. Somehow, that has been my story for a while. Now, if it turns out, if it's true, and it makes sense to me that based on some of the stories of the past, that God does take those who are devoted. They'll be tested, they'll be challenged, but then God also raises them up. I've been publicly mocked, treated like a joke, completely disrespected, taken advantage of. I've had these guys waiting here.
Perfect. I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna go see.
Hi, Jack. I want to talk to Jubilee. Please don't run away. I did want to ask her a question as well.
I'll be right back, and then you can. But...
Okay, cool. Hi, Jack. How you doing today? I know you're gonna go. Do you care? I know how you work, Jack.
Slow down, Ham Banana. Jack, I typed in back, but since you brought me up, I wanted my experience when I sobered up. I made the mistake of trying to force God upon my family.
I know you've told this before, Chuck.
Oh, have I? I'm sorry. I was just trying to point out. I was just trying to give some pointers.
I know.
Because I hate to see you separated from your child.
So you say.
I've been there. I drove my whole family away from me.
Great. You're not me. I'm not you.
Well, did you drive away your parents, Chuck?
My whole family, I did. My friends, my family.
Well, what happened? You were just super drunk all the time?
Yep.
Oh.
It's 24/7.
Well, your family should stick with you through that, though. I mean, I can see your friends leaving, but your family should.
Well, I was an asshole. I turned into a big asshole.
Yeah, you still are, Chuck. At least in my experience. Thanks for sharing your story. I appreciate you joining.
Okay, I was gonna make a joke, but I won't. Jubilee. Have you seen that Messiah 2030 documentary? I know you're into all the gematria stuff. I was wondering about your opinion on that, because it does seem like there's a lot of like numbers and things that match up in there. I don't know if you heard of it. No? It's called Messiah 2030. There's like 3 or 4 parts to it. It's pretty long, honestly. It's a documentary, but it's really good. They kind of dissect the Bible and kind of make a bunch of connections.
I've never heard of it. I just looked it up. It's in the other tab. I'll take a look at it.
All right, you'll like it, I think.
Thanks for the suggestion. Hey, on this, some experiences with Dominic, vacations, events, hiking, camping, father-son stuff growing up. Admittedly, that is an area where I could have done a lot better. I was too tired, too busy to do a lot of the camping stuff, even though we're real close to nature. We could have done so much more of that, and we didn't. Some of the good things we did, though, because of my activity with the union, I got funded to go to conventions and stuff. Dominic got to go with me a couple of times to Las Vegas. We went to Disney World together in Florida. We'd go to concert. Went to a couple of concerts together. We'd go to like Monster Truck. And when he was, the last couple of years, from like 13 to 15 before we split, every weekend he was with me in the summertime. We were out on a lake, out wakeboarding, whatever, boating, having fun. We had a great relationship, and this is what blows my mind. Yeah, I had my problems. Yeah, I made some mistakes in the past. But everything good has been ignored. And I've literally, people have convinced themselves to believe the old Jack is dead. They've said that to me. And they treat me that way, as though the old Jack is dead. And so this guy, he's some sort of ghost. And since it's not Jack, we don't have to give him anything. No respect, no trust, no kindness. We don't have to give him anything. I know they're wrong. I know people like Banana and Chuck and others. You guys have been quite wrong in my experience as well.
Has anybody ever been
So
right
right
about
now.
you, Jack?
Yep, many
Who?
have. You don't listen to them.
Who are they? Who are these people that have been right about you?
Many of the people who tune in,
Name
who
one of
have
them.
joined,
Name one.
and
I've also been right about him. I've been wrong about him a lot. I've also been right about him a lot.
Well,
Right.
what were you right about Jack about? I'm curious. What did you go against Jack about, and you were specifically right, and he was wrong?
What did I
Hey.
go against Jack on, and he was right, and I was sorry. He was the other way. Am I right, or is he right?
You would be right, and he was wrong.
Okay, let me think about it for a bit.
Okay.
yeah, Banana,
Yes.
let's focus more about you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Your behavior with me has been unhealthy, unproductive, and from my experience, mostly unpleasant. I don't
It's
appreciate
changing you, though.
What's that?
It's changing you, though.
What are you saying?
Me and you interacting is changing your behaviors.
Right. I actually don't like myself as much when you're around because you're a total selfish douchebag. So, oh yeah, he's streaming me too. So,
I thought of the answer to his question, and at the same time, it wasn't an easy question to answer because I think most of what my history is with you is processing me thinking you're wrong and then coming back around to, oh, now I can see it from this new light. So the one place I do have that I find I'm still right in, and maybe I will find I am wrong later, is in my particular journey and disability in this body and a lack of like understandably an understanding of what it's like to live in this body and this brain specifically. And I think that is shared human. It is about figuring out, right, what we have similar and different and trying to understand each other's experience, but failing at it sometimes.
people are confusing. People are challenging. And Julie, for the life of me, I've been trying to figure out how do I communicate with some of these people. But today, Chuck, Banana, I'm kind of done trying with people like that. They have no respect. They don't want to be respectful. They don't want to find respect. They want me to be diminished so that I look more like them. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that's a lot of human nature of people not even realizing that and trying to bring other people down because they feel less than.
Yeah. It's a spiritual battle that we're all participating in. But the battle is easily won from inside. Other people can't. This is a lesson for Jack right now. Other people can't defeat us. We can win or lose the battle within. Other people are going to contribute to our win or our loss. And if we keep the focus, keep the clarity on the purpose, and the purpose is love, may get knocked and step aside, step out of love once in a while, but as long as our focus is that, I'm confident this is how we're supposed to live. It's what Jesus was teaching. It's what the spiritual masters were teaching all along throughout history. Men and women have been teaching that love is the way. But we were born into a world where money and power is the way. So they say. Holy cows. Chuck, you have been condescending. You've been very disrespectful towards me quite a bit, Chuck. So
That's not
you
the same Chuck from your like Chuck I've been in a group chat with, Chuck. Not that Chuck.
No, different Chuck. Different. Charles is the other one.
I don't know why I thought he's Chuck, because I know some Charleses that go by Chuck. I think that's why.
And no, this is the one from Tennessee who somehow found himself into my experience. And apparently, according to Chuck, God wants him to go around and talk shit about Jack Talcott. That's why Chuck and I cross paths, is so that Chuck can educate everyone else around me of how wrong I am.
I see. Has he gone on other people's panels and talked negatively about you? Is that what has happened, or is there other things as well?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been bizarre, man. Sorry.
Okay.
It's been bizarre, truly. This life online, it's been an interesting journey and an experience for me. I realized by going online, I thought I saw more of the upside, more of the potential growth, potential connection. I saw all these good things. I did not imagine gathering up a bunch of trolls who are going to reach out to people from my past and try and convict me of lies. This is insanity.
People are wild. People are, and especially the entourage of haters that you have collected throughout your life are a special breed. For instance, Noel, who I'm not saying is a hater in any way.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come up and ask me a question, by all means. I think you know more about the situation than I do, because she has talked to you about what I've done that I don't know what I've done, because I didn't do it. It was a made-up imagination in her head she has shared with you, but not with me. So I can't really answer for that. I have answered for I've proven her a liar several times now. And
Yes.
Jack has proven her a liar several times.
Yes.
And I think you handled her very well on the broadcast the other day, and set boundaries, might be the wrong wording, but of like distinguishing the difference between you as a father and a random stranger on the internet taking on expertise that is not there, and basically being a busybody. And
yes.
Well, I wouldn't say I've done nothing to Margot. I just haven't done what Margot accused me of. I've continually shown what she has done to Jack is what I did to Margot. And that gave her a wound, so she decided to lie about me and make up a lie that I would hurt her by calling for her son's grave to be desecrated. And then when confronted about that and asked for more information, she did what she always did and deflected, and then said that it was taken down by YouTube. What did that horrible stuff include? Oh, well, it wouldn't have been taken down by YouTube if it wasn't included. If it wasn't horrible, what was it? I can't talk about it. It was taken down by YouTube. Right. Okay.
This is a Jubilee. This is a very bizarre experience. The things that people say and claim and believe, they actually believe some of these things, but they don't stop and think about their claims. It doesn't make sense, a lot of the things they say.
No, I agree.
Like the accusations against you. it makes no sense that you would go out of your way to do this and that
It
for
was a ridiculous accusation, which then was proven ridiculous, and she just keeps doubling down of like, no, she really did do it. Hope she learned her lesson.
Jubilee, this is what I experienced in my hometown. There was no reasoning with her, none. And she would get
on
these
the channel when she was like, "No, you didn't leave your house. I had a security guard outside. You didn't leave. I have documentation. Doesn't matter. Didn't leave."
Yeah. And the sad thing is, though, Margot, Chuck, the other Chuck, Charles, the Chuck, Maria and Brian and all them, they believed her lies. And then I had Chemo getting all worked up and being Billy Badass, wanting to actually physically assault me. Margot and those people encouraged him, just like Snafu has been receiving encouragement to harass me. I mean, it's holy cows, man. This story we're living, Jubilee.
Yeah, no, of course, Sam, because they're very convincing. They're very convincing type people like Margot who are able to spin a story and like, why would she make up that somebody would call for the desecration of her son's grave? What kind of mother would do that? So why wouldn't you believe her? Like, but I didn't. Everyone who knows me knows I didn't. Like showing the grave, I was like, show me showing it. I'll cut it out. Right? I might have done something like be stupid in the moment. I'll cut that out. If it hurt her, you know what I mean? I offered to do that. And she just kept doubling. That woman is vile, is my opinion.
It's fascinating. Welcome, Hank.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, brother?
Hello again, Hank.
So yeah, so I personally been going, on my way to discourage this Keystone Cop crew from trolling because their house is made out of glass. They found out in a really hard way. So hopefully you give Jack a break.
Here. Tell you what.
Oh yeah, I made it back. What up, Hank?
But why?
I was reading this little story called The Fool. It's about this king, right? He has this fool and he loves the fool because the fool is the one that makes him laugh when he's stressed, right? So he gives the fool this little golden rod. He's like, when you find a greater fool, you give him this golden rod. So the fool goes out. He's searching for a fool. He meets a bunch of people. But he finds out that the king is sick and somebody had sent for the fool to come back to say goodbye to the king, right? So he comes back. He has the golden rod because he didn't find a greater fool yet. And he's like, the king's like, I'm going on a long journey, buddy. You're never gonna see me again. And he was talking about dying, right? The king was dying, and the fool was like, have you prepared for your journey? And the king was like, no, because he knew he was dying and he hadn't, really did his works. Yeah, his soul work. So he wasn't prepared for his journey. So the fool gave him the golden rod because he was the greater fool, Jack.
Ooh, a nice story.
Thank you.
What was the purpose?
You didn't get the purpose of that story? Are you serious?
What is the purpose of you sharing that story here on this stream?
Oh, I thought this was a religious stream where we could live without fear and have love. Fucking prick, Jack.
Banana, you are clueless. Who's this number you're putting in the back? Here, call this number. Maybe he can help you, Jack.
It's
Yeah, tell her why your parents hate you.
It's somebody I used to work with at the post office a long time ago. He works for a department. He's like, he used to do what you used to do type shit. Like he was a union leader or something. I'm assuming he's higher up now. Maybe he can help you with your post office bullshit. assuming you do want to work, Jack, I was hoping you might, get in contact with him. Maybe they can help you out and you can get work or something. But you probably don't want to work, do you, Jack Talcott?
Hey, Banana. Do you
Yes.
want to know, or do you want to continue to be an idiot? Because your stupid question here, the way you say it, you want to present this, you sound like a fool, and you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, the fool was the smart one at the end of the story.
Yeah, well,
you sound like the king.
Right. Let's take a different definition, because a fool being a waste of oxygen.
That's not true.
Well, that's what I'm experiencing. I find you to be a waste in my experience.
And I find you not to be a real king.
Then leave.
Why? This is fun.
Leave my life. If you can't find value or be respectful,
I was being respectful.
My life.
Jack, can you put up the comment that's a little bit further up that Dominic put up? Yeah, that one.
The fool represents new beginnings, having faith in the future, being inexperienced, not knowing what to expect, having beginner's luck, improvisation, and believing in the universe. Yeah, that's not Banana.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I like the.
I like that.
Yeah, I confirm that is what the fool means for my tarot training. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, Banana and others, they claim they know what to expect. They've convinced themselves he knows it all. He's just here to make sure I learn. There we go. A fool is someone who acts unwisely, while an idiot is a term that's been used to describe someone who is foolish or lacks intelligence.
I said this on my stream earlier. I'll say it on this stream as well. Everyone knows that King Stephen is a farce, right? That he's playing a part. He's not somebody who actually has money or influence in any way, shape, or form.
Man couldn't donate $5 just to show us that he had enough to lose without it being a big deal.
It's remarkable. But you know what? I'm getting more comfortable in this. My role, publicly, people get to show how selfish they are. They get to show how foolish they are, how short-sighted they are. And I get to find a way to love them anyway.
I think what Banana said about you not working is clearly a lie. You're working every day here at 2 p.m. like clockwork every single day. I mean, a space for people to congregate and working through their own bullshit.
I'm working towards a greater purpose. And obviously I make my mistakes. Welcome, Flow State.
Flow State.
Man, do you see the way Hank's just leaving me hanging?
He is.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
All right, high five.
He was looking away.
Good job.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, I thought he was snubbing me. What's up, guys?
It's continuing patterns that I'm still trying to stop talking about the patterns, and I'm trying to overcome the patterns, but yet again, patterns became the topic, and I haven't overcome them.
But still, you see no changes. All you see is racist faces, misplaced hate.
I see a lot of fools joining and presenting their foolishness, trying to diminish me. So far, it's been Banana and Chuck. And before I started, that clown Snafu. If he did speak, if If he did end up speaking with my son for an hour, as he claims,
If it was,
that's what he said. He said he talked with my boy for about an hour yesterday or recently.
first of all, I'm sure that he's full of shit. I mean, nobody wants to talk to Snafu for an hour.
Agreed.
That does sound like something he'd lie about. Second, though, like, I don't know if you've noticed, he keeps escalating things. So maybe you need a new approach besides just being butthurt.
Well, what other approach is there? I mean, I truly am, to some degree. I'm not helpless. I'm not defenseless, but I am at the mercy of the world. What the world offers me is what I'm allowed to receive. I'm not trying to take anything that isn't right, but I'm trying to find a way to change this nonsense. Sincerely. And there's got to be a way. Well, hey, Jeeps, yeah, he is shameless enough to call my son. And he's even more shameless to keep throwing it in my face. To try and hurt me, showing other people can talk to my son, but not you, Jack. You don't get to. That's pretty shitty. My opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you really, honestly, this conversation right now is the loosh that he wants out of the whole activity. So if you freeze him out, that'd probably be the fastest way to get it to stop. God, he's an ugly motherfucker, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. There's an image of him from Tommy's show yesterday.
Was that yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, him and Tommy and they were all dragging Jack through the mud again. These people are nuts, man. I'm not afraid of Snafu. I don't think, if I'm not afraid of the man. He cannot harm me. He cannot do any more damage to my family situation than already is. And here's the deal. If Snafu talked to my son, guess what? My son is being tested just like many others I've seen. Who's he going to believe? Is he going to believe a psychopath, a liar? Lots of people believe in liars. Lots of people allow themselves to be deceived.
We're all psychopaths around here, aren't we? In our own way.
I'm not anymore. I've been paying attention to get rid of that, because to avoid the psychopathy, it's just simply compassion and care. Being selfless more than selfish. And I'm definitely more selfless than selfish. I know that for sure.
Here's the thing. They know it too, and they want to take advantage of it.
Take revenge?
Yeah, take advantage, indeed.
Yeah. It's what we were talking about earlier. Patience and kindness. My patience, my kindness have been overlooked, taken advantage of, disrespected, misunderstood, whatever you want to call it. I am kind, I am patient, but I am not worthy of the disrespect that people have wanted to be so generous with.
Well, if you parade yourself around like a victim, then people will oblige you.
That's your excuse.
For what?
Well, I know you've wanted what you just said describes the relationship between you and I. You found me.
I'm not
going
victimizing you right now. I'm trying to dust you off and say,
You have. You've been projecting your behavior onto me, as have many others. And I've tried pointing it out to you. I've tried discussing it with you like a man in the past, but you want to play these fucking games. And
all right,
I allow
let
it
me
to
let me come back in and try this different angle. Poor Jack.
Don't need that either.
Hank, help me out here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. You're kind of hard to understand. I mean, I try to get to understanding, and I think I'm in moderate progress, but you still are. You're still in the phase where you think, well, no one's trying to do the work, even though I demonstrate that I make a very good big effort. I'm also helping clean up these trolls around here as well.
And we recognize and appreciate that, Hank.
Mm-hmm. I disagree, though, Hank, because, well, my disagreement is irrelevant. The facts show that I have not been understood in the way that I believe, because had I been understood in the way that I believe, we'd be having conversations about, hey, how do we get these ideas into Congress? How do we get these conversations to succeed? How do we achieve any of these goals?
Yes, and my response to that is that you're incomprehensible, because if on my end, I put a lot of effort into it. It's not like
You
I
said
haven't
the
done
same
anything
thing
before.
about God, that it's incomprehensible as well.
Exactly.
Until it's not. Until you accept and see, Hank, you may have tried hard. I don't want to diminish that. Yes, you've tried hard to understand, but you've not tried my way. You've not tried my method of sharing what I know so that you could understand me. You've wanted to do it on your own, in your way, as have others. I'm learning to accept that. When it's time for you to know and understand what I'm saying, you will. But if you think you already do, then we're done. I got nothing else to offer. I mean, it's kind of that simple.
Yes, but if I ask for a demonstration, how do you do it? Can you give me an example of someone who's successfully done it? You don't have any.
So what?
So what? That's very important. That's very important. I train people myself, and if I can't show them how to do the thing, how can I expect them to do the thing?
Sure.
Do you think that's an unreasonable request?
Hank, you're not looking at what I've offered. Okay? And you and many others place these burdens. Jack, you've got to do this to prove this to me. No, I don't. The truth is true. You can understand anything I'm saying if you choose.
Truth is just a feeling.
Yep. And Hank, that's what I teach.
Wait, you agree with that?
Truth is
a feeling?
Yes, it's felt.
What?
It is a resonance. It's an internal frequency and a resonance confirming.
Well, then there's no such thing as truth. If truth is a feeling and it's not externally objective, there's no truth.
Believe what you want.
I will.
I know. And if you want to understand, well, okay, maybe truth is not real. Here's what I've been saying. The only thing that is real is God. God is real. God is the wholeness of the truth, and we get parsed out. We receive tiny little fractals of information, and then we put it together within ourselves. And if the energy of the information and our explanation within, if it resonates with the objective reality or our path we're on, then it will be confirmed to us as our truth. It's that real. I mean, our feelings are real. The world today wants us to pretend like our feelings don't matter. That's why everyone's been so callous to each other, so uncaring, because they don't actually care. They care about themselves and not understanding that to care about yourself, you have to care how others feel. Well, you don't have to. You get to. You get to care about how others feel. And if we don't care about how others feel, well, then the punishments, the deprivation, the cruelty, it just continues because it's not our problem. Someone else will be foolish enough to care, and they can take care of that problem. I got to focus on myself. I got a family to feed, so I got to go earn the breadcrumbs and not care about anybody else. That's the society we've been born into.
The more bread you have, the more crumbs you can spread around to those you care about.
That's a lie, though.
It's not a lie at all.
Hey, it is a part of the truth. No denying that part is true. If you have more breadcrumbs, you can share them with who you choose. But this working for breadcrumbs, dude, it pisses me off as a labor man, knowing how the bosses are being paid and the workers are being screwed. You know, it really is. Employees are becoming slaves to the wage, being forced to accept what the bosses offer. Oh, I know. Well, they can always quit and go get another slave job where someone else doesn't appreciate them too. Sure. Spend your life going job to job to job, trying to find a paycheck. But this world we're living in, sincerely, if we unite together, we can accomplish some amazing things. And I have in my heart that if we unite together, we can end wars.
So I agree with you. If we unite together, we can get all this stuff done. But the problem is, I'm actively trying to clean up the panelverse because there's people who just go all the way not to unite together, and they'll stop at nothing to do so. Do you acknowledge
And that's good
that?
initiative right there.
You're cleaning off the panelverse for what?
Because there's people who will stop at nothing not to unite, just to create a disharmony just because. Do you acknowledge that?
I agree those exist. However, I'd much rather focus on the success. I'll leave the people who don't want to believe, I'll leave their asses behind. And that includes the people who've been part of these panels. I mean, I don't need anyone's approval to succeed. And Dr. D-Head, please don't jump to conclusions with your foolishness here, telling me learn about logic or stay away from the word truth. You clearly, I've explained logic, reasoning. I've already spoken quite a bit about how thoughts and emotions work, and there are logical, clear patterns to how everything works. So, holy cows.
Can I ask a question about truth, Jack?
Please.
Your version.
Yeah.
You say truth is an emotion. I want to ask the question that somebody who is able to lie and tap into human emotions and convince people of a lie, using those emotions, it's because it sounds like truth to people. How do people distinguish between that which sounds like truth and that which is truth? What is the resonance? What is the difference?
That is a great question. And it's I would say every answer is kind of circumstances unique, but how do you know between the feeling of truth and what is true? I would say it's through application, right? It's not just from hearing and believing, it's from applying the words. And some things we can't, I'm sure there's things we can't actually apply, but everything I've been studying regarding the religious, regarding the spiritual, there are things that at first I didn't understand, but I took it and I said, okay, well, if this is true, well, let's see what happens. And I tell you what, it's turned out our world is a lot more backwards than I thought it was. Because what is true in this society is not respected. Matter of fact, the lies and the liars are more respected and protected than the truthful. I might be an evidence of that story as well. Because this is the life we're living.
Yeah, here's what I want to do. I want to find grounding, just an area that's safe for people who care about the facts, can resist the craziness of society. So I'm seeking grounding.
We can help ground each other in reality, but that might be what the mainstream is doing. People are grounding each other, holding each other down in this false reality of economics and politics. But if we involve the spiritual into our conversations of what is real, we can rise above the material and still be grounded with reality. Because I know there's, in this time of awakening, there's a lot of these 5D people and all the woo-woo spiritual people that are kind of detached from reality in their own ways. Maybe I've done that on occasion too, but I'm fixed on the real world solutions, because the real world problems are killing innocent people. I mean, there's more hospitals bombed in Israel again last night. More children, more doctors, more journalists being attacked by the state oppression being funded by the American taxpayers, by the foolishness of the Washington, D.C. theatrics. There's real life tragedies happening in this world, and I believe we can be a part of the solution. I'm confident of that.
Oh, I just found King Stephen's watching us. So, King Stephen, you didn't have anything to say about your daddy, Officer Snaps' terroristic threats, and you're throwing the demon around at us. Come on, man.
So, Jack, thank you for answering my question. I wasn't able to listen to it because I had to parent. I'm going to re-listen to the broadcast and listen after. I'm going to go and watch Wicked with my child. Bye.
Have fun, Jubilee. Thank you so much for joining.
Consider the potential here. You know what I want. I want our Messiah. The two of you combined, man, Jack, you don't have a right to withhold the Messiah from humanity.
Wait, what?
I want a Jubilee Jack Talcott love child. I want our Messiah that we deserve, and I want it now.
Join. We are.
Wait, what? I'm not joining you in Jubilee, and this is you guys' thing. You guys got to make I'm not like that.
We are the Messiah. Rising.
Oh, okay.
It is us. All of us. I don't think there's going to be any love children emerging. Jubilee's like a sister now. She's a friend.
I felt my ears burning.
Man, high five. If I may, I got some breadcrumbs to thank. Thank you, Chuck, for the $10. He says my breadcrumbs. Also, thank you, Chuck, for another $10. He says he's afraid He's afraid of himself. He's holding grudges. I just pass along the message.
You think Chuck is right?
About the breadcrumbs, yes, he did give me some breadcrumbs, and I appreciate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. There's evidence Chuck is a good man to others. Not in my experience. In my experience, he's been an antagonist. He's been absolutely disrespectful and a real pain in my ass. So,
Sort of like Sasquatch is to me.
Yeah, I actually don't mind Chuck as an antagonist. He's a pushover, so that's not really a big deal to me.
yeah. Everyone's got their own path. But frankly, I've had enough of the antagonists against me. Between Snafu and Paul and everyone else, I don't need more. So, yeah.
And you and Paul not getting along again? Or still? I guess I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, they haven't been getting along since November.
I mean, they haven't been getting along in 2 years.
Yeah, but they even have an island of cordiality.
He can't even conduct a conversation. He can't cooperate in a conversation. He gets so triggered and so emotional. I don't want to waste my time with his nonsense anymore. He's a fucking clown. And here's the thing. I was considering this earlier. It's easy for me to walk away from Paul now, from Chuck and all these people, because I have no respect. I used to have some admiration, some respect, because I'm a good guy. I can find reasons to appreciate pretty much anyone. Fuck Chuck. Fuck Paul. Fuck Snafu. Fuck Illumitami. And the list just keeps going on.
If I see Chuck in the chat, I'll tell him what you said.
Hey, he's your number one supporter, buddy. Keep him close to you. That's your way.
You could replace him if you put your mind to it. Started donating more.
But I don't want that.
Okay. Just saying, it's an option.
I think I'm probably about ready to wrap it up today. My patience. I feel clear on my intentions. I feel clear on my purpose. I haven't lost it yet, started screaming at people. So that might be a good thing for me to do before I screw it up.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna say one more thing to King Steven. I mean, he probably won't watch this far, but you think we need to be recycled, but this guy in the audio avatar doesn't. You have pretty poor judgment, King Steven. Very poor judgment if you think this guy isn't fit for the recycling machine. And I'm out.
All right, Hank. Thank you, brother. Peace. That's what I've been trying to find, Venus. What I found is a lot of peeps who like to use me. They don't really like me. They like to use me. They insult me, make themselves feel better. I get attention from the attention I find. But I will have a day.
What do you want out of the people around you?
What's that?
What do you want out of the people around you?
Just what I offer. Respect, care, attention. That's all I'm looking for. Like I said, I've been saying this for several years. The only thing I'm focused on in this life is relationships and connections. I know lots of people want to judge me because my focus is not on the money. My focus is not just on me, but relationships and connections. That's where love is found. That's where success is generated too. I know that. I think I'm ready to wrap up though. Flow state.
So, did you have any thought? I guess, was that a rejection? You're not going to consider having a Messiah child with Jubilee, or
Yeah. No, I answered
no?
that.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I didn't know that sounded like a deflection because you said we're all the Messiah, but
No, there's definitely no love children coming from me anytime soon.
I believe that.
I've tried and I've tried. I remind him of all the women on what was that show, The Kindred G or whatever. I'm telling you, he had like 3,000 women in the comments section who were like, "He's cute. We want one." I don't know. I don't get you. There's like 3,000 fantastic opportunities here, but he's still yelling at us. All right, I'm
seems
filibustering.
Is he not entertained? You look entertained, Jack.
I'm entertained. Jack doesn't.
I'm really fed up with your fanboy, Chuck.
Mine?
Yeah, and I'm ready to shut down. So please and thank you.
All right. Thanks for having me up. Bye.
All right. Peace. Respect. Anything from you, brother?
I just came up to say hey. Usually I'm busy during the day when you're streaming. I'm driving people around or whatever, and I happen to have a minute, so I want to say hey.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have a lovely afternoon.
You as well. All right. Thank you, my friend. Brothers and sisters, all who tuned in, all who joined, sincerely, if you tuned in late, please go back, especially go back and give me a chance at the start. See if there are some encouraging words, some inspiration. This morning, admittedly, I felt I started the stream a little dry, but we had a wonderful guest who brought some wisdom and some truly, what I felt, what I received was some heartfelt encouragement and some really caring advice. So Yogi, to you who started in the beginning, to Jubilee and all the other guests who arrived and were a part of today's stream, sincerely, I do appreciate you. For those of you who have found so much joy in opposing me, so much laughter, making fun of me, God bless you. God bless you. I hope you find some better things to do with your life. But truly, we are here to help each other grow. And one of the things I know for sure is patience is a key. The most powerful thing you can do right now is to be patient while things are unfolding for you. It's our overactive minds, our insecure worries, our fears, our hates, our judgment. All of that stuff can get in the way. And then we sabotage what could be coming forth. I've seen myself do a lot of dumb things in my past, right? 50 years around this world, I've done a lot of stupid things in my past. And one of the things that I am committed to is to reduce my own personal self-sabotage. Now, the best way to reduce self-sabotage is to be clear, to have a clear mind, pure intentions, not seeking to sabotage, but seeking to grow, seeking to do good, to be good, to know the good. I'm going to wrap it up here. Sincerely, thank you to all of you. We'll see what the future brings. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. And God bless all of us. Peace.